right, so after multiple outlets began reporting on it, and after the president spoke directly with the reporter, it's being confirmed that Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah, is dead, along with several other senior leaders. And so, of course, this is major, so let's get into the latest update. And as always, if you do enjoy the content, smash the thumbs up button. That's the best way to let me know. Stay locked in with future videos. You want to subscribe to the channel and turn those notification bells on. That way you know every time I drop. Let's get right into it.
We are getting information from Israeli sources that the Ayatollah is dead. This is breaking news again coming from Israeli sources that the Ayatollah, the supreme leader of Iran, is dead. Again, we're going to go to Jeremy Diamond. Jeremy, the strikes coming this morning that were targeting senior leadership. That's what we knew. Targeting senior leadership there in Iran. And now we can say from Israeli sources that the Ayatollah of Iran, the supreme leader, is dead. What more are you learning there in Israel?
That's right, Jessica. Two Israeli sources telling me and my colleague Tal Shalev that Israel has confirmed that the supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has been killed as a result of those Israeli strikes that took place earlier today. One of these sources saying that Israel actually has photographic evidence of Khamenei showing his dead body. And it is an earth-shattering moment for the Middle East and for the future of Iran. We should note, however, that the supreme leader's death is not necessarily indicative of the Iran regime collapsing altogether. This regime is not based off of one person alone. It is a system that is multi-layered, and we know that the supreme leader understood very well that he could potentially be targeted for assassination should the United States and Israel choose to carry out massive strikes on Iran as they did today. And in recent weeks and months, he has been preparing for potential lines of succession should that actually take place.
So you heard that, and we'll have to wait and see how things unfold in the coming days. But one of the key factors for sure that will determine how this plays out is who remains in position to take power, the possible successors, and how quickly they're going to be able to move and consolidate control. That's going to shape a lot moving forward. So let's get into this Fox News report for more on that. Take a listen.
Israel assesses that more than 40 senior Iranian security and regime figures were killed in strikes during the opening operation that Israel launched this morning with the United States against the Iranian regime. This official goes on to say this is one of the largest regime decapitation operations conducted in modern warfare history, and that Israeli intelligence managed to infiltrate the Iranian security echelon, making the strikes possible, this official explained.
And so you had that, and listen, so you got to consider so far this to be a success. It was precise, it was targeted. Now we'll have to wait to see as we get more details, especially regarding whether there were casualties, American soldiers lost in the operation, and obviously things are still ongoing. And so that can change rapidly, but strategically speaking, removing not just the leader, but also members of his senior leadership who could potentially step in and take his place, that is significant. But let's get into the president and what he had to say so far about the situation. Take a listen.
Now, Kristen, you just got off the phone with the president of the United States, and he talked to you about Khamenei and the possibility that he may have been killed in strikes. What did he tell you?
This was an extraordinary 3-minute conversation, Yasmin. Let me read you the key takeaways. I asked President Trump if he had confirmation that Ayatollah Khamenei has in fact been killed. He said to me, I've spoken to a lot of people. We feel that is a correct story. Again, when I asked him about the reports that the supreme leader has in fact been killed, President Trump saying, we feel that is a correct story. He went on to say, quote, a large number of their leaders have also been killed. And that was significant. The fact that he said this was not just one person, Yasmin, the fact that, according to President Trump, in this phone call that I have with him, he believes it's a correct story that the supreme leader has been killed, along with, he says, a large amount of leadership. He says there were 3 attacks, and he says that in some of those subsequent attacks, that is what ultimately killed the leadership of Iran.
And so you heard that president confirming that a large number of the senior leadership was also taken out. Now, It's going to get debated because this operation carried significant risk and it's still early. Yes, things can change, but based on what we know right now, this appears to have unfolded the way they planned. But the question now is obviously, well, what's next?
And what comes next after this? We talked about the idea that there may be a long line of successors of clerics who are just lined up ready to go after this. But there comes a point as well that if you look and you see that the top leadership has been decapitated, then the rank and file of the levels below say, you know what, this is not worth it. And you have the overwhelming momentum of the Iranian population that has bristled against the repressive tactics of this regime, and they want something different. And they maybe all get together, and then you reach critical mass, and there's an overthrow, as there was in Iran back in 1979. That said, I remember in Iraq, well, the problem is Saddam Hussein. If we get rid of Saddam Hussein, everything will be great. And as we saw, it went to hell in a handbag.
I mean, that's the part you got to be honest about. We don't know what's going to happen next. We'll have to obviously see how things go. But speculation aside, people of Iran, yeah, they'll probably receive some level of assistance. But right now, we don't know how much the United States would be involved in that. That's going to have to become clear, obviously, and that should take place sooner rather than later, because that's exactly the kind of uncertainty that the Democrats and legacy media, for that much, will focus on. And it can end up overshadowing, if things continue on this path, what would otherwise be viewed as a strategic success. And at the same time, there are messages coming from the Iranian people across the globe who are celebrating and expressing hope for what this could mean moving forward. Take a listen.
And you guys are talking about, you guys have human rights. You guys have everything that you need in your life. We have been taken, our lives have been taken away from us. You guys have everything, and you guys once have one president in your country that wants the best for the people of America that have built the land for 250 years.
Yeah, it's true. There's a level of entitlement you see from people in this country, especially from those on the left. They throw around the words like fascist, dictator, Hitler without really understanding what those words mean in real life, because they live in their self-righteous bubble and think they got it all figured out, right? Meanwhile, the Iranian people are celebrating right now, and they're doing so because of what this represents for them. And let's be honest, it's something that as Americans, we won't be able to fully grasp. We can understand it, we could empathize, but we won't be able to fully grasp the weight of what that feels like. That's not a knock. It's just the reality. We don't live under the same kind of leadership or face the same type of daily oppression that they do over there. And that's great for us, no matter how much some people in this country try and convince you that we do. It's not the same. And a lot of the emotional rhetoric gets amplified by elected officials who they know exactly how to push those buttons, because they understand there are some people out there that will actually take the bait. Mamdani tried to, but he got checked by an Iranian American reporter. Check this out.
I just want to read what exactly the New York City mayor said. Today's military strikes on Iran, carried out by the United States and Israel, mark a catastrophic escalation in an illegal war of aggression. Bombing cities, killing civilians, opening a new theater of war. Americans do not want this. They do not want another war in pursuit of regime change. They want relief from the affordability crisis. They want peace.
Oh, my God. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I live in New York, Mr. Mamdani. You are more than welcome to come to one of my safe houses. You're more than welcome to come and see my would-be assassin in the federal court. You didn't even dare to come and face them. Where were you when they sent killers here in New York City? You were crying for your aunt because she stopped using subway for simply in an illusion statement you made saying that she didn't feel safe because of wearing hijab. Really? I stopped using subway because of the would-be assassins being sent to beautiful New York City by the Islamic Republic. I know maybe you and many other people, they hate President Trump, but believe me, this is not the right time to shift your hatred and your anger from President Trump to the people of Iran, innocent people. We are better allies to you, America, compared to these backward mullahs.
Yeah, and here are some more Democrats who continue to put their foot in their mouth. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, self-proclaimed president of peace. It once again starts with illegal wars without congressional authorization. This is not what the American people asked for. You got Ilhan Omar, who actually had to get fact-checked because she was out here saying things that weren't true. Iran was attacked by the U.S. during Ramadan, and it's sickening to know the U.S. is again going to attack Iran during Ramadan. The U.S. apparently loves to strike Muslim countries during Ramadan, and I'm convinced it isn't what these countries have done to violate international law, but about who they worship. And then she got the fact check. None of the Persian Gulf Wars started in Ramadan. First Persian Gulf, it gives the date. And so Gronk had to fact check Omar for her blatant lies. And right on cue, you got Democrats taking to the streets protesting the president's actions. Take a look. Democrats are going to call this a war because it's to their political advantage to do so right now, but it was a targeted attack against the Iranian government. There's a difference. And honestly, they should probably go speak to someone who has actually experienced living under that regime before they pick up a sign. But that doesn't fit their narrative, because if they did, they might feel embarrassed about their actions, especially when you hear what it's really like. Take a listen.
One thing I'm going around asking is what's one thing about Iranians that you want the world to know that you think they don't know much about or you think is misunderstood?
Yeah, I feel like the first thing misunderstood is Islam, the main or majority of Iranian people's religion, which is not. So when I moved to Australia, the first question by default was, so you're from Iran and you're Muslim? And the answer is no. Unfortunately, 47 years of Islam being almost forced on our people, on our country, and see what happened to our country. So that would be the first thing that I would say it's misunderstood about Iranian people. And the second is how much we are peaceful. Because again, in the media outlets, they all hear about the Islamic regime of Iran, but they don't know people of Iran. It's different. It's Islamic regime and it's the people of Iran, and we just want peace and freedom, like just the normal human being. We want to be able to walk our dogs, and that's literally forbidden in Iran.
It's illegal to walk dogs in Iran.
It is illegal to. Like my auntie had a dog, and they told her, if we see you walk your dog, we'll shoot your dog, and you have to pay for the bullet.
Is it illegal for women to sing in public?
Yes. So the women's voice, basically, as per Islamic law, Sharia, is not allowed. So
how any woman in America, no, how any person in America could protest against that is beyond me. You may not like the way it was carried out. Okay, you could be against war if you feel like that's what this is. But protesting against women whose lives and existence look like that is despicable, if you ask me. But that's my thought in the update. Now let me hear from you. Drop a comment down below. As always, smash that thumbs up button. That's the best way to let me know. And subscribe to stay locked in with future videos. And as always, until next time.